let's begin. You can start sitting up if that's in your practice. You can start lying on your back. If you have a chair, you can start lying on your back with your lower legs on the seat of the chair. So it looks something like this. And that is super high for me. I wouldn't even be able to do that. Folding chairs are a lot lower. So yeah. Come to a comfortable, peaceful way to sit or lie to start your practice. Knowing that we're all going to move onto our backs after the initial breath work and intention of the practice. Let me just see. Did this move now? Yeah. So this is all new, right? Okay. So settling in. Coming to your mat, to your practice. Using your exhale to soften. To become aware of the earth that supports you. That foundation of the earth that allows you to have a long spine. Whether you're sitting or lying down. From the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head, with all its natural curves. And if you're lying on the earth, thinking of it as like floating on a lake. Maybe that helps you to soften into that support beneath you. To become aware of the vast sky above you. To become aware of the breath and the wise heart that lies between the two. Gently witnessing the breath, following from the tip of the nose as you inhale to fill the lungs, following the breath out through the tip of the nose, one breath leading to the next, with just a gentle pause between the breath. And in the pause between the exhale and the next inhale, there's a softening. There's a rest. Becoming aware of the rest, of the stillness. It still allows the breath to move freely. We all came to our practice today with an intention. An intention for the physical body, maybe for the mental, emotional body, maybe an attempt to join them all together. What was your intention? And maybe you had some preconceived idea of what the practice was going to look like just because I said, have a chair or something for support. So letting go of any judgments or preconceived ideas and being open to whatever is. What is your intention for the practice? Shortening that to a word or a phrase. Placing it in an I am statement. And repeating that softly to yourself a few times as if it were true and already happening. And gently drawing the focus back to watching your breath. Making the inhales the same length as the exhales. As you breathe into the space just below the ribs, in alignment with the belly button. Breathing into the side body, allowing the muscles between the ribs to expand, to allow the lungs to fill completely. Maybe you become aware with the next inhale, aware of the back body as it opens a little closer to the earth. And then with the exhale, gently floats away. Breathing into the back of the heart. Breathing into the wings of the heart. And throughout the practice, we use the focus of the breath to draw us back to this moment. Even as we acknowledge and honor our thoughts, we don't attach to them, we just allow them to float away so that we can be in this moment. Bring us back into this body, this breath, and how it feels to be. And with your next inhale, allowing the arms to extend up overhead, softening through the shoulders, and noticing where do you feel an opening? And breathe into that space. Where do you feel an effort, and can you soften there, allowing the back body to rest on the earth? Pointing the toes, opening through the length of the front body and side body. Flexing the feet and opening through the length of the back body and the side body. And with your exhale, floating the hands to either side of the hips. Inhaling there and exhaling, drawing one knee and then the other in for a hug. Find stillness to start. Soften the shoulders. Soften the bind if you have one. Exhale, we gather the belly and then rock slowly from side to side with intention. Aware of the body and whatever sensation you feel, not labeling it good, bad, just is, and can you use the breath to soften? We use the breath to soften throughout the practice to move deeper or to back out of a pose, depending on how the pose feels. Meeting your body wherever it is today without effort, and letting the feet float to the earth with the knees up to the ceiling, and walking the feet a little wider than hips distance, maybe as wide as the mat. Arms resting on the earth, shoulders soften, jaw releases. And with your exhale, both knees float to the left. With your inhale, they float up to center, and with your exhale, they float to the right. And you're allowing for the shoulders to rest on the earth and the twists to come from the waist down as one hip lifts and allows the knees to respond to gravity, coming in the direction of the earth. We're just guiding the practice with the breath as we move the body, let go of the efforting, and then inhaling up to center and allowing the knees to fall together and maybe walking the feet wider or maybe closer together. So there's no efforting to hug the knees together. They just rest. Maybe you can allow the breath to move into the back body. Maybe softening so that the breath can move a little deeper, so that you can feel the breath echoing all the way down just below the last ribs. Aware of the body expanding to accept the breath. Not efforting, not forcing, just allowing what the body wants to do naturally. As we let go, the body opens. Nice. And then walking the feet back to hips distance and rolling over onto one side or the other. Pausing here as you draw the knees in the direction of the chest, honoring your anatomy, your body. Starting to round through the lower back without any pressure from gravity. You can allow the vertebra to create space, the body to open, the discs to not have any pressure on them. Maybe the shoulders come a little forward of the hips without compressing the front body, without contracting the heart to the belly. There's a softness in the front body and an opening in the back body. Maybe the forehead comes in the direction of the knees without closing off the throat. The breath stays smooth and even. The shoulders soften. Maybe you can feel the breath in the space between the shoulder blades. Maybe you're aware of the shoulder blades moving away from each other and then softening together. The rhythm of the breath in the body. Your rhythm, different from everyone else's. Your body, different from everyone else's. So your practice should look very different. Your next exhale, the belly gathers. We use the hands on the earth and the gathering of the core to draw us up, even as we push the earth away, to come up and then over onto all fours. To take the time to pad the knees, and then to find a safe and supported foundation for our tabletop. So finding a stillness in tabletop. Finding the foundation of the firm earth beneath you. Rooting into that foundation. Finding the breath and allowing it to move easefully. Scanning the body with the inhale, noticing, are you clenching or efforting someplace? Can you soften and still have support at the same time? So the elbows aren't locked, the wrist creases aren't compressed, the shoulders are away from the ears, and the breath moves freely. And with your exhale, maybe starting with a pelvic tilt, so already your mind is going to leave the body someplace. Can you be curious about exhaling, gathering the pit of the belly and allowing the tailbone to dip towards the heels, stopping there, and then inhaling, tailbone lifting to ceiling. Rocking the pelvic bowl over the socket of the legs, the hip socket. Aware of the lengthening of the muscles in the back body as you exhale, and the opening of the front body with the inhale. Shoulders stay right where they are, not going any further than pelvic tilts. Can you isolate that without creating tension? Maybe not. Maybe you have to move up further. So there is no right or wrong, just offering you a place to explore. Aware at the same time that everything's connected, but there is a mind-body awareness. And then slowly moving up the back with the next exhale, allowing it to lift towards the ceiling without compressing the front body. And inhaling, belly dips, heart reaches between the arms. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone, slowly the back body rounds to the ceiling. Maybe you even drop the top of the head towards the earth. Inhaling, tailbone lifts, back body rounds to the ceiling. I'm moving opposite of what I'm saying. Move with your breath. Curious about the opening of the front body and where's your edge, not forcing anything. And the opening of the back body. Meeting your body wherever it is right now at this moment. Maybe as you move through your practice, your cat and cow looks different at the end than it did at the beginning. Maybe you can move more freely, maybe less as you bring efforting or ease into your practice. Finding stillness here and finding your tabletop. Inhaling, the right leg extends, the toes curl under. We reach into that heel, keeping the shoulders right where they are, just in back of the wrist creases. And then we inhale that leg straight up to the ceiling, reaching out of the hip crease. And then we cross that leg in back of the left, letting the toes come to the earth, the tops of the toenails. Yeah, reaching, opening through the right side body. Maybe gazing over the left shoulder to find the right toes. How does your neck feel? How are your shoulders? Are you still supporting the pose? Through the foundation of the hands, through the active core, is the breath moving freely and filling the right side body. Just noticing, not judging, allowing as you become aware. With your inhale, the gaze comes between the hands and that right leg extends out of the hip. And then we float that knee back to the earth. And we wag our tail or take some hip circles. Or maybe we decide to come down to forearms because the wrists are cranky. What's your body? What sensations are you feeling in your body, and how can you honor them? Setting up your foundation, coming to stillness and tabletop. And inhaling, the left leg extends, curling the toes under, keeping the shoulders, the thoracic body right where it is. Maybe rocking forward and back, reaching into that heel, lengthening through the back of the leg, bottom of the foot. Exhaling, the belly gathers, and inhaling, we lift that active leg up to the ceiling. The breath is smooth, and we cross the leg in back of the right, coming to the floor on the toenails. And we have a lengthening and opening in the left side body. Maybe gazing over the right shoulder in that direction. Maybe not. How's the breath? Do you still have a strong foundation? Have you sunk into your shoulder sockets? Is the breath moving into the left side body? With your next exhale, the belly gathers. With your inhale, that leg floats back straight out of the hip. And then the knee comes to the earth. Walk the knees the width of the mat. Let the big toes touch. And reach the hip creases in the direction of the heels. Pause there. Inhale, lengthen the heart away from the belly button. Keep that length. Exhale, float down into child pose, your expression. Let the third eye make contact with something. Stacked hands, a block, a blanket, the earth. Meet your body. And then soften into the pose. We use the breath, the inhales to scan the body, to notice where there's gripping, tension, efforting, and the exhales to soften, to release, to let go. Sometimes that allows us to move just a little deeper, and sometimes it offers us the space to back out of it. Find an easeful way to be in child pose. With the intention of lengthening the spine from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone and allowing the breath to move onto the back body. To fill the back body. To breathe into the wings of the heart. 2 more rounds of breath like this. Notice what you notice without judging it. Find your intention. Commit to it or change it. Exhaling, the belly gathers. Inhaling, we come up onto all fours. And I'm hoping that your chair or your bed or something is nearby that you can come to walk your hands up on top of it. Maybe on your knees. So that you can use it for support. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Extending the sternum away from the belly button. We lift the heart and find a long spine right here, finding a gazing point ahead of you. With your exhale, the belly gathers. With your inhale, the right leg extends back, curling the toes under a little. Yes, you don't have to have a super straight leg, right? There's a bend to the knee maybe. And with your exhale, the belly gathers and that knee steps forward, the foot steps forward to have a bent knee. Nice. Find support in the chair or whatever you're using. Curl the toes under of that left leg. Soften the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, gather the pit of the belly. Reach into that heel, extend into that straight leg. Shoulders are still over the hips. Nice. With your exhale, step that back foot forward. Nice. Inhale all the way up to stand. Maybe you're reaching through the fingertips up overhead. Finding stillness here. Extended mountain pose. Are your feet hips distance? Maybe you need to adjust your foundation. Are the arms soft in the shoulder sockets? Can you still have extension through the arms without efforting into the fingers, the top of the shoulders, the neck? With your exhale, we root into the foundation, the circumference of the heels, with the toes gently resting, as if you could root into the circumference of the heels. And the legs become active without locking out the knees. And the breath is smooth. And with your exhale, the arms float down to either side of the body. And with your inhale, they float up. And up is relative. Where's up for you? Soften there. Exhale, float it down. What do you notice in the shoulders, in the neck? Can you meet your body wherever it is today? Floating up and floating down, out to the side, or arms are in front of you, doesn't matter. Just linking simple movement with the breath. Being open to whatever the body brings you today. Nice, and the next time the arms extend down to the earth, find your Tadasana. Find your gazing point ahead of you and soften that gaze. Active legs root you to the firm earth beneath you that's always there to support you. With your inhale, lengthening to the vast sky above you. How do you feel when you think about the vast sky that's there all the time? So many opportunities. With your inhale, the arms extend out, around, and up. With your exhale, we hinge forward from the hips, keeping a long spine and come parallel to the earth, allowing the hands to float to the chair. And then set yourself up or the bed or the dresser, doesn't matter. Walking the left hand underneath your heart space. The knees are soft and bent. The belly, the pit of the belly gathers to support the lower back. And we inhale the right arm straight off the shoulder, out to the side, right? And then we float that palm of the hand to the hip, to the lower back. Where does it feel comfortable for you? And we're still gazing to that left hand. And the legs are strong and the breath is smooth and the shoulder blades are down the back. And with your next inhale, we float the heart open to the right. For a gentle twist. And maybe we gaze in that direction, maybe not. Maybe we bring the chin towards the right shoulder. How does that feel? One more breath here. Exhale, the belly gathers. Inhale, we gaze to the left hand and bring that right hand back down to the chair. Even breath. Land in your feet. Gather the belly, walking the right hand underneath your heart space, your face. Inhaling the left hand out to the side. This still works if you're higher up on a dresser or a bed. Resting here and then letting the left hand come to the lower back or the hip. So the elbow points to the ceiling, the shoulder blade rests away from the ear and flat on the back towards the center. Inhale there, keep the heart lengthening away from the belly and float it to the right, to the left, sorry. Floating it to the left. Gentle twist. Maybe you're still gazing to the right hand. Maybe you're gazing in the direction of the heart. Maybe you're able to gaze over that left shoulder, no efforting. Breath smooth and even, nice. Inhaling, gazing back to the right hand. Exhaling, belly gathers, both hands float down to the chair or whatever you're using for support. Inhale, reach the heart between the arms. Let the tailbone lift. Exhaling, rounding the spine to the ceiling, maybe dropping the top of the head, keeping the knees bent. Try to keep the legs right where they are and isolate the movement through the back body, taking a couple of rounds of cat and Inhale. Does this feel any different for you than when you're on the floor, on all fours? Different doesn't mean good or bad, just means different. Can you access something more, or what are you aware of? Just noticing. And then finding stillness there. Root into the feet and inhale all the way up to stand and roll through those shoulders, big circles. Up, back, and down. Nice. If you're using a chair, turn it around so that the back is in front of you. If you're at a dresser, perfect, it's nice and high. You can come to a wall and place your fingertips in front of you on a wall. Lots of options. We're rooting into our Tadasana. We're allowing the weight to shift over the left leg so we can come onto the toes of the right. Fingertips on the chair so that the foundation, the leg, that standing leg is supporting us as we root into it, drawing the left hip in and up, lengthening through the crown of the head, softening the gaze. Nice. So that we can exhale that right knee straight off the hip with a flexed foot. Nice. With your inhale, tap it down. With your exhale, bring it up. Strong core, strong standing leg. Exhale, tapping down. Inhale up. Moving in and out. With the heart extending away from the belly button. Next time you tap it down, find stillness there. And with your next exhale, let the heel come to the hip, bending the knee in back of you, foot in back of you, yes. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, heel to hip. Knee faces the floor, both thighs are parallel or even. Long heart, shoulders over hips, gazing forward, beautiful. Always aware, keeping the integrity of the spine, allowing that foot to float to the earth. Shake it out, let it go. And then land in your foundation again, knowing that each side is different. So just being curious about, oh, I wonder what this side will be like. No judgments or preconceived ideas. Allowing the weight to shift over the right leg, right foot, to come onto the toes of the left. And drawing that right hip in as you root down and lengthen up through the crown of the head. Take what you need, let go of the rest. But keeping an open front body and a long back body, letting go of efforting in the back of the neck. The chin dips slightly to the notch in the collarbone. What are you aware of? What can you let go of? What are you keeping? With your exhale, that knee floats up right off the hip in front of you. With your inhale, taps down. Move with your breath in and out of this pose slowly, mindfully, with intention, with the purpose of isolating that leg in the hip socket, of keeping a long spine, aware of the breath that guides you, of the core that supports you, letting go of any efforting to find an easeful way to move in and out. And then letting those toes come to the earth. And with your next exhale, the heel comes to the hip. Inhale, tap it down. Exhale, heel to hip. And the knee points straight down to the earth, parallel with the leg next to it, so that there's a nice opening in the hip crease. And even though we usually say we have tight hamstrings, they're not necessarily strong. We're just noticing. Strong standing leg, long spine, easy breath, safe, supported, and letting that foot float to the earth. Walking the hips back, crossing the one forearm onto the chair and the other one on top of it, or the bed or the dresser, allowing the forehead to rest there, walking the feet back until you have a long spine with bent knees, soft shoulders, and you can breathe into the side ribs. What do you feel? What do you notice? Remember, I only offer suggestions. You get to back out of stuff that doesn't feel good. Can you find an easeful way to be in this pose? With your next exhale, gather the belly, reach the hip creases back, deeper opening in the lower back, lengthening, nice. Breathing in and exhale, inhale, walk yourself all the way up to stand. Coming with support in the back of the chair, roll through those shoulders, big circles. Inhale the shoulders to the ears, exhale, let them fall. Big inhale, exhale, soften. Nice. Moving a little, or adding on, I should say. So we're again allowing the weight to shift over the left leg, coming onto the toes of the right. Inhaling, lengthening through the crown of the head, drawing that left hip in, the heart up. Nice. Exhale, the toes float in back of you on the right foot, sorry. So everything else stayed right where it was, shoulders over hips, rooted to that standing leg, gazing to the space in front of you. Curling the toes under. With your next exhale, that knee floats up off the hip. With your inhale, it floats in back of you. Exhaling, inhaling. Maybe you only have 3 fingers on the chair. Maybe you experiment with 2 fingers, maybe 1. How does it feel to lift the fingers for an exhale and tap it down on the inhale? What do you notice? Maybe you're backing out of this because you feel some sensation somewhere that tells you it's not right for you. Last time. And then softening into Tadasana. Let that side go. Find stillness in the Tadasana. Check in with the breath. Smooth it out. Aware of the thoughts. Letting them go and just being right here, rooted to the earth, lengthening the crown of the head to the sky, with the breath between the two. Allowing the weight to shift over the right leg, coming onto the toes of the left, using the chair for support as you root down and lengthen up. Soften where you're gripping. Strengthen the foundation. Inhale, the left leg comes back with the toes curled under, open hip crease. Exhale, knee in front of the hip. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, bring the knee up. Your practice, your body. What are you aware of? Where can you soften as you find ease and grace and smooth out the edges so the breath is linked to the movement? Nice. And then experimenting with less support, more support, not judging, just allowing. And then finding stillness And finding your Tadasana with the fingertips extended towards the earth, and then soften the hands so that the fingers naturally curl in. And find the breath. Bring awareness to a deep inhale and sighing out the exhale. Nice. And then letting that go and turning your chair around again. Sorry, dancing with chairs. So that the seat is facing you. Or the bed, the dresser. So we're facing that seat. And we're inhaling the arms out, around, and up. And exhaling, hinging forward from the hips, planting the hands. Rooting the hands to the chair with the arms in their sockets, so you have a nice support there. We're allowing the weight to shift over the right leg and the left leg, and the knees soft, so that we can inhale and step that right foot back. Sorry about the rights and lefts. Stepping the right foot back and allowing the foot, the heel, to come all the way down. So adjust. Yes, nice. Stepping it forward so that you can have a straight right leg, a bent left knee, with both feet rooted to the earth. And then do you feel safe and supported as you exhale, maybe drawing that left hip crease back and in. Gathering the belly here. And maybe inhaling all the way up to warrior one. Nice. Exhaling, hinge forward, float the hands to the chair. Do you need to adjust to make this more accessible? So that you have a long spine, the heart extending away from the belly. No efforting in the back of the neck, shoulders soft. Exhale there, root into those strong legs. Inhale, hinge up into your warrior one. Nice. Exhale, float forward, slow, controlled with intention. The palms of the hands meet the chair. Nice. Coming up onto the toes of the right foot. Pivot and plant that foot so that now we're prepared for warrior two. Yes. Exhale there. Inhale. Right arm comes up and around, and we land in a warrior facing the left. Yes. Nice. Extending through the fingertips, rooting into the feet. Find the breath. Strong in your foundation so that you can float out of the hips and breathe into the heart space. Spine is stacked. Breath is smooth. Nice. Inhale there. Exhale. Windmill the hands to the chair as you pivot on that back foot. Coming on to the toes. Now you're facing the chair as if you were doing warrior one, right? Nice. We're going to go back into that warrior two. Pivot and plant the left foot. Exhale there. Inhale, lead with the right hand. Land in your warrior. Find the breath. Inhale, find space. Exhale, soften. Inhale there, exhale, the belly gathers. We find that chair again as we pivot on the back foot. And exhale, step that back foot forward. Inhale all the way up to stand. Extend through the fingers if that feels good. Float it to the heart center. Let the thumbs rest against the heart. For a couple of rounds of breath. Connecting with the rhythm of your breath. Feeling it echo in your body. Aware of the inhale. Following the exhale. Activate the foundation through the strength of the legs. Inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. And exhale, fold forward, finding the palms resting on the chair or some support. Allowing the weight to shift into the right leg so we can step that left foot back, allowing the heel to come all the way to the floor. Inhaling the heart away from the belly. Exhale, soften the shoulders down the back. Find the breath. You need to adjust. Exhale, the belly gathers, root into those strong legs, and inhale, draw yourself up over the hips, maybe extending through the fingertips. Nice. Soften in your warrior one. How can you make the pose more easeful? Rounding out the edges with the breath. With your next exhale, the belly gathers. We lead with the heart to hinge forward at the hips, long spine, placing the hands on the support in front of us. Coming up onto the toes of the left foot, pivot, plant that foot. Exhale there. Inhale, left arm extends up, around, and we float into our warrior two. Using the core to bring us there. The strong foundation through the soles of the feet and the core that draws us up into a straight spine. And then you adjust. This is your practice. Maybe you find alignment. You check to see the knees over the ankle. You check to see maybe can I inhale into a deeper, longer, straighter spine. How's the breath? What was your intention? How can you bring it into this pose? Breath in, breath out. With the exhale, the belly gathers to support you as you windmill the hands to the chair, keeping extension of the heart away from the belly, pivoting on that back foot, you're on the toes. Find the breath, soften where you're gripping, strengthen the foundation. Exhale, belly gathers. Inhale, pivot, plant, float the arm around. Find your warrior two. And then find stillness. Moving throughout the breath is the goal, to let the breath initiate the movement, to smooth out and round the edges, to move slowly, mindfully with intention. And to settle into the stillness and notice what you notice without judgment. Inhaling there. Exhaling, that belly gathers again to support you. We windmill the hands to the chair as we pivot on the toes of that back foot. Exhaling with your breath, you're stepping forward. Inhaling, rooting down to lengthen up. And bringing it to the heart center. One breath following the next. What do you notice? What do you feel? Nice. With your next inhale, allow the fingertips to extend towards the earth and then soften the fingers, aware of the active shoulder blades as they gently hug to the center of the back so that you have a deep opening across the collarbone for the breath to move into. Always about the breath, of keeping an open heart, finding the breath to balance it all out. With your inhale, the arms float out, around, and up. With your exhale, we hinge forward, bending at the hips, planting the hands. Inhale to lengthen the heart away from the belly. Exhale, the belly gathers, the left foot steps back. Pivot and plant. Inhale and find the length. Exhale, find the core that will draw you up as you root into both legs to settle you into your warrior two. Find the stillness in your warrior. Inhale there. Exhale, let go. Inhale. Exhaling, gathering the belly, windmill the hands to the support, pivot on that back foot, step it forward. Rooting to the earth with the exhale, bent knees, inhale, lengthening through the center of the heart, allowing the weight to shift to the left leg, stepping that right leg back, pivot and plant. Exhaling there, root into those strong legs. Inhale, windmill, reach the arms out, around, and extend out. Moving throughout the breath, or maybe you take a round of breath, pausing, settling, extending, landing in your warrior two. One breath following the next. Rooted to the earth, lifting to the sky, the breath between the two, exhaling, belly gathers, arms windmill to the chair, pivoting on that back foot. Inhale, lengthen the heart away from the belly. Exhale, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Step that back foot forward, using the core, root down. Inhale, lengthen all the way up. Exhale, float it to the heart center. Letting the thumbs rest against the heart center. As you root into the circumference of the heels. Strong legs, muscles hug to the bone, so that you can lengthen the ribs out of the hips, soften the shoulders down the back. Allow the breath to move smoothly. And notice how the palms meet. Meeting your practice the way the palms meet. With your inhale, extend the fingers to reach towards the earth. Exhale, commit to that foundation. Inhale, floating the arms out, around, and up. And exhaling, folding forward, needing that support in front of you again. Allowing the weight to shift into over one foot or the other so that you can bend the knee and place the opposite knee on the earth. So now you're coming to kneeling. Yes. And you're walking yourself up close to that support. If you have a bed, that'll work too. And maybe you're coming to sit on your heels. Maybe you have a blanket or a pillow you can place either in back of your knees or under your hips. Maybe you're walking the knees a little bit wide, and then you're placing one forearm parallel to the edge of the chair and the other on top, and you're allowing the third eye to rest. It's a different way of coming into child pose. With your exhale, you can assist gravity as you gather the belly. You can allow the hips to reach towards the earth without effort, to lengthen the hips out away from the ribs, to find that long spine from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. If this doesn't work for you, come into child pose the way you usually do. I'm going to say usually. If it suits you to come into something that's familiar, if it feels safer and more supported, that's where you go. And in the softening of the exhales, we allow space for the inhales to fill. And how are we being in the pose? With your exhale, the belly gathers. We press away from that support, allow the hips to come to one side so that we can extend the legs straight out in front of us. Nice. With bent knees, we place the feet flat on the floor. We walk the hands back. So I'm preparing for windshield wiper for those of you who don't get what we're doing, because there's always that. Walking the feet maybe the width of the mat or so. Root into those hands. The arms are strong. What does that mean for you? And inhale, lengthen the heart away from the belly button. Then draw the shoulder blades a little closer together. Keep the integrity, the length of the spine, the support from the core as you flex the feet and allow the knees to float from side to side. The shoulders, the upper half of the body stays relatively still as you rock the hips and allow the legs to respond to gravity. Not forcing, just allowing. And there's a lengthening through that side body and an opening in the hips and the lower back. Just noticing one side probably feels a little different than the other. And then finding stillness there. Walking the feet back to hips distance. Exhaling the hands and back of the thighs. We use that foundation to inhale and lengthen the heart away from the belly. Soften the shoulders down the back. We find the connection of the sitting bones rooted to the earth. And a long spine growing straight up from there. And maybe with your exhale, you can extend open the elbows and come to rest on the top of the sacrum. Still, the heart is lifting to the ceiling. The chin is soft to the notch of the collarbone, and that core is really working, right? Without efforting into the hip creases. To the hip flexors. Maybe the palms can open to the ceiling today, maybe not, but the shoulders are soft and the heart is lifting and lengthening And with your exhale, maybe you carve the belly out and roll down one vertebra at a time. Maybe you come to the elbows. Maybe you roll over to your side and come to rest flat on the earth. Knees bent or legs extended. What suits you right now? Land on the earth. Let the spine find its length there. Breathe into the curves in the back of the neck and the lower back. Smooth out the breath. With your next exhale, draw one knee and then the other in for a hug. Soften there, and then get some movement. Don't be in a rush. Notice as you rock from side to side. You can massage the muscles that run along each side of the spine, that you can root the hips to the earth. Massage them open. And then find stillness there with the palms on the knees. You're allowing them to float away from each other, come towards you, come together and away from each other, out to the side, making circles in the hips. And then reversing those circles slowly with the breath, noticing what you notice. And then come to stillness there, allow the feet to float to the earth. Exhaling, the right knee comes in for a hug, maybe interlacing the fingers and back of the thigh, softening the shoulders to rest on the earth. If they're interlaced over the shins, same thing, soft shoulders, no efforting. That left foot steps a little closer to the sitting bone and then roots there. Equal weight in both hips, sacrum roots to the earth. Inhale, extend that leg straight up, releasing the bind, maybe massaging or opening up the hamstring muscles, getting the tips of your fingers in between the muscles that run from the back of the knee to the hip socket. Keeping that foot flexed and rotating the toes out to the right. And then crossing that ankle over the thigh. The right knee softens away from you. You breathe into the right hip, and maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you have space to walk that left heel a little closer to the sitting bone. Maybe you keep that right foot flexed and the right knee moving away from you as you exhale and rock both knees over to the left, coming into a twist. Inhale, back up to center. Exhaling over to the left. What do you notice in the side body, in the hip? Inhale up to center. Maybe you're coming to stillness here. Maybe you're trying one more time, experimenting with how this feels. And then coming all the way up, exhaling there, inhaling, extending the legs straight up to the ceiling, rotating through the ankle, big toe making circles in one direction and then the other. Fanning the toes out and curling them in. Exhaling there, root into the sacrum, lengthen into the heel, and float that foot to the earth. With your next exhale, the left knee draws in for a hug. Soften through the shoulders. Maybe this side's a little different. Maybe you're clasping in back of the thigh. Maybe you have space to clasp the fingers over the shin. As you breathe into the lower back, the back of the thigh. Releasing that bind, inhaling, reaching that leg up to the ceiling and using the pads of the fingers to massage open the hamstrings. What do you notice? The side might be a little different. And finding stillness there as you reach into that heel and rotate the toes out to the left so that you can bend the knee and cross that ankle over the thigh. Maybe walking that right heel a little closer if you have the space. Soften there. With your exhale, maybe you float the knees over to the right, coming into a gentle twist with that left knee working away from you, keeping the left foot flexed. Inhale, come back up to neutral. Where is neutral? Resting on the sacrum. Exhale, rolling onto the right hip. Staying in 4 square with that knee working away from you, or not, or adjusting for your body. Maybe one more time like this, maybe coming to stillness. As you inhale up, exhale, gather the belly and extend that left leg to reach up to the ceiling. And then make some circles through the ankle in one direction. And then the other. And then fanning the toes out and curling them in. Our feet that support us. Exhale, bend the knee, float that foot to the earth. Inhale there and exhale, give the knees a hug. Just check the time here. Yeah, okay. And then finding stillness and coming into a final spinal twist, or maybe there's another pose that you would like to take to complete your practice, something that suits your body right now. Maybe you're coming into legs up the wall because you like to end with an inversion. Maybe you're coming into a twist, so you're opening up the arms in T and allowing the knees to float to one side. Maybe you're resting in an early Shavasana. To practice your body, meet it, honor it, find the breath, smooth out the edges, let go of the efforting, release into your fullest expression of the pose right now. Coming to the other side if you're taking a twist. Completing your practice and whatever that means for you. Balancing it out. Giving each side equal time. And then finding Shavasana. Finding a way for you to rest comfortably, for the body to rest peacefully on the earth. Propping, pillows, blankets, what do you need? With your next exhale, release into that support beneath you. As if you were floating on a lake. The body softens into that support. Soft earth, meeting your curves, allowing you to rest. For the muscles to let go of the bones, for the body to become heavy. Using the exhale to soften the space between the eyes. to allow the eyes to rest into the back of the head. Allow all the muscles that surround the eyes to soften and melt. With the whole forehead to melt towards the earth. All the muscles surrounding the jaw release. The tongue slips away from the roof of the mouth and the lips gently meet. And all the muscles in the face melt to the earth. And we're following the breath, our natural rhythm, watching as it fills the body with the inhale, watching as it fills the space surrounding us with the exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Easy, gentle rhythm. The breath that's always there to bring us into the moment. The earth that's always there to support us. The vast sky above us. The morning that awaits us. What do your senses bring to you? Can you honor the sound of the birds or the lawnmowers with the same non-judgment? Can we be right here in this moment with the breath and allow the morning to unfold around us without expectation or judgment, being open to whatever our journey brings us, becoming flexible in our mind, the way we're attempting to become flexible in our bodies, strong in our foundations, checking in with our wise hearts, allowing the breath to guide us, finding an easeful way to move through life. Our practice on the mat reflects our life off the mat. Paying attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. What are my thoughts? How am I feeling? Checking in with the wise heart. How do we respond? What do I know? What is my foundation? Appreciating the vastness that lies in front of us, the many ways to navigate life. Finding peace and balance in our journeys. There's what's happening, and then there's how we're relating to it. Does coming from a loving heart change our relationship? Paying attention with a sense of awe and reverence. Mindfulness is a form of paying attention that is neither judging nor wishing things are different. Rather, resting in an open heart and open mind, seeking only to know what is true. Starting with an open heart and then moving into the open mind. Holding space for what we don't know. Breathing in, breathing out. We don't want to stop thinking. We just don't want to grip at those thoughts. And we forgive ourselves over and over again when we do. We start again to focus on the breath and let go of the nagging thoughts. Check in with the wise heart and move forward in our response, smoothing out the edges. What happens in stillness? Slowly becoming aware of your body resting on the earth. Becoming aware of the space surrounding you. As you gently deepen your inhales and exhales. Slowly bringing yourself back from stillness with small, gentle movements. Rubbing fingertips, toes wiggling, maybe slowly turning your head from side to side. And maybe with a deep awakening inhale, you extend the arms and reach through the fingertips. And then float the arms to a comfortable position as you step one foot and then the other onto the earth, knees to the ceiling. Pausing here, transitioning, feeling more awake and alert with every inhale. Using your breath to scan your body, noticing what your practice has given to you today. And is there a way of taking this off your mat and into your life? Using your arm as a pillow, rolling over to one side or the other. Allowing the breath to fill the front and back of the heart space. The breath moves into the wings of the heart. Energized, ready to embrace the day ahead of you. Bring to mind the intention that you had throughout your practice. Repeating that softly to yourself one more time. That I am statement. Resisting the urge to open your eyes. If that suits you, press the earth away and draw yourself up into a comfortable, easy, peaceful seated position. And with your inhale, the arms extend one more time. And with your exhale, the palms flow together to rest at the heart center. And we lift our hearts and we bow our heads to honor that perfect light that shines in all of us and unites us, with the intention that our practice be continuous, that our hearts be steady, that our efforts be of benefit to all beings, and that all beings may be safe, may they be healthy, may they be happy, may they find their freedom, may they know peace, and may they walk through the world with ease. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. You can unmute yourselves so we can say a proper goodbye. I will stop the recording.